Okay, do the intro. Hello! That's about as far as I've thought about what I'm gonna say. So if you've been on this channel for pretty much any amount of time, you would know that one of the things that I really like to do when shopping for vintage style is to kind of schmooze modern clothing to look retro. Because not only does this make it a little bit more accessible, but also sometimes it can be a lot cheaper. And plus the added bonus of not having to worry about busting off any buttons or ripping your vintage dress when you sneeze.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
So about a year ago I did a video about faking vintage and tips on how to do so using modern stores. And so I thought I would kind of go off of that and make myself a little challenge to go into modern stores, Target was the one that I chose this time, and see if I could schmooze an entire vintage outfit out of completely modern garments. Now, while I did try to find complete outfits, I also allowed myself to think of actual vintage garments that I would be pairing these with. So some of these garments I will be actually styling with my own current pieces, whether that be vintage or reproduction. But I will explain to you kind of what to look for and all that good stuff. So in total, I spent...
I've come to talk with you.
So in total, I spent around $200. A lot more than I usually spend in one place. But I did get quite a lot of stuff, and Target, as I like to call it, is a little bit hard to get things for cheap. Pretty much anything you get is $20 to $30. So, but you know what? It's okay because I really like everything that I got, and I will definitely wear all of these a ton. So, so first up, I guess we can just talk about what I'm wearing right now, which is this little polka dot number, and it also has this little peekaboo thing, which is cute but also kind of weird. It's just I don't know. Is that the sound that the Pillsbury Doughboy makes? Poke him in the tummy.
Pillsbury says it best.
Hoo-hoo. They don't do that anymore, do they? Poke his little tummy. I can't say it wasn't creepy. But yes, I got this on the clearance rack for $20, which is not bad. And once I can figure out this little peekaboo situation where it doesn't show my bra, I'll wear a tank top or something. Stop.
How'd you like to spoon with me? How'd you like to take me out on Sunday? But mind you bring me home again.
So next up is this really long skirt. I have been collecting a lot more floor length or full length skirts. So this is perfect and it's very swooshy. So I will say finding skirts in Target was a lot more difficult than you would think, which is why most of the time I pair my modern items with my own skirts, because finding skirts that are long enough to reach your knees and the small of your waist, like vintage skirts do, is a lot more difficult than I thought. So I was excited to at least find a full-length skirt because I think you can't really go wrong with that. I got this on clearance for $23.08, very specific. And I took all the hangers because I'm cheap. And you know what? If I'm gonna be paying this much for clothes, you bet I'm gonna take your hangers too.
Your trombone, now your own cornet, your cello tone, now your clarinet,
So next I got this basic white collared blouse. Do I have way too many white collared blouses? Absolutely. But I got another one. Basically, I would say if you're starting off a vintage, white collared blouse literally goes with everything. So this was $18, which is a little steep.
on your rooty-tooty-too. I want to hear them all together.
Next up, this amazing olive green dress. And I just really, really love this. I feel like it could be styled vintage very easily with just a belt and then some sandals. And then even in fall, you can just throw a cardigan over it. I found that most dresses that have this gathering right at the small of your waist are pretty easy to style vintage. I think my whole wardrobe is just slowly evolving into all olive green or forest green. I'm not satisfied until I become my final form, a little green olive.
Now you're all cornered. You're jealous.
Next, I got another skirt. And like I said, they're a little bit hard to find, but I found this on the clearance rack for $16.08, which is not bad at all. It is pretty lightweight, so I feel like 16 bucks is still a little steep, but it's just the perfect summer skirt. And you all know I have a weakness for button-up skirts. My kryptonite.
Now, Mr. Blue, on your rooty-tooty-doo.
My arms hurt. Who knew holding up clothes for 15 seconds would be such a workout? Oh. Next up is this cute little top. Now, if you've seen my other faking vintage video, you will know that pretty much the easiest top to schmooze is this sleeveless peasant top, because the style of these hasn't really changed that much since the 40s and 50s. It may not look very flattering, but if you put a skirt right here, I also just love the color of it. It's kind of pale blue, and the texture of it itself kind of lends itself to being a little bit more vintage. So this was $25, which again, is a little more than I like to pay for a top, but again, it's Target. But it's pretty, and I will get a ton of wear out of this.
Playing that a hurricane will sweep it from the land. If only Alexander ceased to live, all of the crimes on earth.
Next, another top. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime girl. So this is another kind of off-the-shoulder peasant top. I'll probably get rid of this little doohickey. I don't know that it serves a purpose other than being purely decorative. I feel like these tassels are definitely cute, but they don't scream vintage to me, so I'll probably just take this little thing off. But I have a ton of earth tone skirts, so I figured it would be very, very easy to style it with this. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime girl. It's a curse. Why did I start singing? Because now I'm never going to stop. Never.
We forgive old maids of 45 for wearing hover dress, and we'd even let the Kaiser build more ships than we possess if they'd bury.
And last up for clothing, this beautiful olive green skirt. If you're surprised, you shouldn't be. So for modern styles, obviously I don't mind the high to low. I think it looks really pretty, but when you're going for kind of a vintage look, it gets a little bit harder to pass off as a vintage skirt when it looks like that. Normally I probably wouldn't buy this skirt, but the color, and it seems like it has a lot of volume down at the bottom. A lot of stores have this kind of style, but just keep in mind, if the high part falls where you want it to fall, you can just hem the rest of it to that length. So this was $30. Yep, it is what it is. If you don't have pockets. It does not have pockets. It's okay, I still love it. So this skirt I think I might actually return. The straps make it really weird, and it's kind of weirdly built, and the high part of the skirt is a little bit too high for me to even hem it. It's a bit of a mess. And then last up, I got some sunglasses, which are just pretty simple, but they have that kind of cat eye retro feel to them. Used to be that I could only buy all my retro glasses on eBay, but it seems they're becoming a little bit more accessible in actual stores, which is nice. So yeah, I hope that you guys found this helpful. I did have a lot of fun, and I do hope to eventually do this with other stores. Feel free to take this challenge with you next time you go to your local clothing store, and keep in mind some of the tips, and I hope it helps. Basically, the point that I want to make is that even though vintage style can seem intimidating, it's definitely more accessible than you think, and it's a lot of fun. Well, that's it. I love you all, whether you're new or old to this channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! rusty even though I just filmed literally 2 days ago. That's how I'm going to sync my camera from now on. I don't know that it serves a purpose.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtop girl.